Hey, what's up, guys? It's Pat from PopularMMOs.com, and I'm doing a features video for Vindictus. What I'm going to be showing you guys is some PvP, going to show you a dungeon, a little bit of the crafting, and a few other cool, unique features in the game. And first thing I wanted to show you guys is some PvP. Right now I'm in the waiting room, but one thing I wanted to mention, guys, is that the PvP in this game is not very popular, because this game is pretty much a PvE game. It's really centered around dungeons and raids and stuff like that, so it is pretty hard to find a battle. I'm in the waiting room for Capture the Relic, one of the battles in the game, and it's for players 1 through 70, or 10 through 70, and pretty much anyone in that level range could join, so it's kind of surprising that you can't really find more players. I guess the PvP in this game just isn't that, I'm just going to assume it's not that exciting, or not that great, so. But anyways, I want to show you guys it anyway, so I'm just going to wait here until I can find some players to play with. I did get into a match another time, but most of the time, it's really hard to find a match. One thing I wanted to mention, though, while I'm waiting here, is what's really cool about this game is you can pretty much pick up anything and use it to fight with. So I could pick up this barrel, and I could toss it at a monster, at a person, or whatever. You could also destroy stuff, which is pretty cool. You could hit stuff and break stuff, and you could even break apart like a big structure, and then use like the parts of it to fight with, which is pretty cool. Another weird thing that I noticed in this game is that there's always these dice laying around, and you can pick them up and you could actually roll them, which is kind of funny. So you could just roll that. I don't know what people do with them really, but you could just roll them. It's kind of funny. Anyways, I guess I'll just wait here until I get some PvP going, and I'll show you guys how it works. Well, guys, I've been waiting for about 20 minutes. I still haven't been able to find one person to PvP with. And the funny thing is, last night, I queued for this a lot later at night. Right now it's about 7. It was about 11, 12 at night last night, and I found 2 people to play with. So I'd suggest going with friends. If you got friends in the game, you're in a guild or whatever, and you want to do some PvP, I'd suggest PvPing with them, because you're really not going to find too many people just going in here like me looking for a match. I mean, yesterday there was 2 people, and there was a freaking gold farmer spamming his website in it with me, and of course that person was the person on my team. So I'm just going to show you guys a dungeon now. Oh, and if you were interested more about what the battle was about, it was pretty much just a capture the flag type battle, something you'll see in a lot of games. So I'm going to show you guys how to find a dungeon. Right now I'm at the docks, which is north of the main city, and all you have to do is go up to this, click on which place you want to get a boat to, and you can see if there's any parties already forming. And you see in this one, there's already a party of 2 players, so we're just going to join that, because I want to show you some group play in the game. And one of the cool things about dungeons in this game is that you can set them to a certain difficulty. You can set, if you're not that, great at MMOs, or you just don't want too much of a challenge, you can set normal difficulty. But if you really want a challenge, you can set the hard mode or hero mode, which makes it a little more difficult, a little more challenging, and the rewards are a little better too. And right here, it's going to pretty much set you onto a boat waiting for other players. And once everyone's ready, you have to click that you're ready in the bottom left. Then you'll get started in the dungeon together. One thing that I consider a problem in this game, though, is that there is no world to explore. And I'm actually one of those people that really enjoy a big world and like to explore it and do quests there and stuff. This game's just based around a town, and there's a bunch of ships, and you take those ships to the dungeons. But there's tons of dungeons, so it's extremely. This is probably one of the easiest games to find a group for a dungeon, because pretty much everyone does dungeons. As you see right now, it took me 5 seconds to get into this group, and the dungeon's starting right now. So it's really not much of a problem. Alright guys, so now I'm right into the dungeon. And the combat in this game is pretty fun, and that's really what keeps the game fresh. Because it's got an action style combat, and you could dodge moves, you can block moves. I actually seem to be lagging a little bit. I guess it's because I'm recording. But the game isn't very laggy. The only problem you might have with lag is if you're in the main city. And if you are, what you can do is you can change the channel you're into a less populated channel. And the combat is pretty cool in this game, because there's different combos and stuff with your moves. Like if I hit a certain move a couple of times, then I could do a different move. I mean, it's nothing extremely special, but the action combat itself is what makes it fun, because you can dodge moves and stuff. And it's I think that this style of combat's a little more interesting than in the normal MMO. And there's traps like this. You're going to want to try to avoid those traps. Some of those traps are going to injure your character. And there's a bunch of those, and I think that's one of the things that keeps the dungeons pretty fun also, is that there's different traps and stuff to avoid. So it's not just fighting monsters, there's cool traps and stuff throughout the dungeons. And the bosses in these places are usually pretty cool too. And you see right here what I was talking about, how you could just pick up things. That guy just picked up the spider that we just killed, so it's pretty cool. I would suggest, though, guys, if you're into PvP, this really probably isn't your game, but if you really are someone who enjoys dungeons and you don't really mind that there isn't a big world, then this might be a good game for you. I mean, the game has nice graphics, it has a nice combat system. There really isn't too much bad stuff to say other than, you know, there's not much PvP and the world itself is pretty tiny. But other than that, the game is actually pretty good. But I know that it would only, it only goes towards a certain audience, because certain people aren't going to want to be in a small little world and just do dungeons all the time. But one of the other things you could actually do in this game, this isn't really anything special, but it's a way to chill outside of dungeons, is the fishing in this game is a little more interesting than it is in most MMOs. You actually take a boat out to sea with people and go fishing there and have to catch the fish with harpoons. You have to actually aim the harpoons at the fish, so it's pretty cool. But the reason they have to do that is because there isn't really any world, because in most games, you just fish all around the world you're in, and this one you actually have to take a boat out because there really isn't anywhere else to go. And right here, guys, I wanted to show you is another one of the traps, and as you can see, there's some pretty cool traps in this game and different stuff to avoid, and you could actually get pretty hurt if you get hit by some of them. Alright guys, so right here is one of the first boss fights in the dungeon we're in. And sometimes there's going to be multiple bosses. Right now we were fighting 2. I mean, they died pretty quickly. There's actually someone in our group that's pretty high level. I mean, you can group with people that are over leveled for the place. So if you have friends, that are higher level, they could help run you through places. Alright guys, so these are the last 2 bosses in the dungeon. And the last bosses are usually, more of a challenge. Of course, if you're in a harder mode, the fights are going to be a lot more difficult than if you're doing it in normal mode. And these are actually tough. I believe we're in a hard mode one right now. So 2 of us are pretty actually low on health right now. But like I said before, the other person's actually pretty high level, like 10 levels above what you're supposed to be for this dungeon. So I'm assuming that we should have no problem finishing it off. And guys, the boss fights in this game can get pretty intense, and that one wasn't too bad just because we have a real high-level player on the team. But the boss fights can get pretty exciting in this game, and that's what's pretty cool about it. So the next thing I'm going to show you guys is some crafting in the game. So if you guys go to the main town and go to any of the buildings, there should be different crafts available at them. I'm at the blacksmith right now, and it'll show you, if you hit on craft, it'll show you exactly what you have the recipes for. And recipes in this game are a little bit different than they are in most games. In most games you need to acquire recipes. In this one, when you complete any of the dungeons, they're going to actually unlock recipes for you. You're going to learn how to make certain stuff. And I don't actually have the materials for any of these, but it's pretty easy to show you guys what exactly you need to do anyway. So for example, to make these boots, all you need to do is have these recipes and hit craft, and it will automatically craft it for you. There isn't actually crafting levels or anything. But you can make the stuff you need to make in the game. There isn't crafting levels, but I mean the crafting system isn't very deep, but it's very easy to understand and easy to use, which could be a good thing. Anyways, guys, one last thing I wanted to show you is actually the titles in this game. If you click on your character and then go to change title, you'll see all the titles that are available for you. And if you look at them, for example, this one, the Unexpected Gentleman, it says Effect Strength +3. And it actually is a very unique title system in this game. And it doesn't just mean that if I use that, I'll get +3 strength while I'm wearing it. Every single one of these is going to improve your stats, and your stats automatically stay improved. So the more you do these, the better your stats are going to be. So you're going to actually want to get as many titles as possible. And some of them are going to be kind of annoying to get. They're going to be like, this one says defeat gnolls with kicks 100 times. But you're actually going to want to work towards these things just because it's going to improve your character. So in the long run, if you work on your titles, your character is going to be much stronger than if you didn't. Because in most games, the titles really don't do much for you. There's just like a name to have next to your character's name. In this game, you're even going to want the ones with that have weird names, just so that you can get better stats. Like this one called I Can Read. I don't know why anyone would want that title for their character, but you're also going to improve your intellect. So, for example, if you're a mage, you might want to you might want to work on that title anyway. Anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to show for Vindictus features, so I hope you liked the video. Subscribe to my channel and check out PopularMMOs.com. See ya.